Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major development of the week. I am your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now, first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. President İlham Əliyev visited Yevlax and Görə districts. The inauguration ceremony of the 8th November power plant was held in Mingəçevir. President İlham Əliyev attended the event. President İlham Əliyev visited Yevlax and Görə districts.
President İlham Əliyev visited the monument of the national leader Heydər Əliyev located in the center of the city of Yevlax and lit flowers. Minister of Youth and Sports Farid Qayyubov briefed the head of state on the progress of the project. The complex is being built as part of the state program on socio-economic development of the regions of the Republic of Azerbaijan, approved by a presidential decree. Construction began in January 2024. The main building will house a multi-purpose sports hall with a seating capacity of 1,100 spectators. The facility is designed to host training sessions and competitions in basketball, volleyball, handball, gymnastics, judo, wrestling, boxing, and other sports. Also feature an 80-seat conference hall, rooms for referees, doctors, coaches, and commentators, as well as a cafe. The 4-story hotel with 21 rooms accommodating 42 guests, a restaurant, a football pitch meeting international standards with 1,300 seats, and 2 mini-football fields will also be part of the complex. The boxing competitions of the 3rd CIS Games, scheduled to be held in Azerbaijan at the end of September this year, will take place at the Yevlax Olympic Sports Complex. Rövşən Məmmədov, chairman of the board of the State Agency of Azerbaijan Automobile Roads, briefed the head of state on ongoing construction activities. Construction of the underground pedestrian crossing and sidewalks on the highway section passing through Yevlax, as well as the approach roads providing two-way vehicle access, is nearing completion. The pedestrian crossing will span 48 meters in total, with 37 meters enclosed. The approach roads, each 7 meters wide, will stretch in total of 3.2 kilometers. The Baku-Alat-Kazakh state border with Georgia highway is part of an international transport corridor passing through Azerbaijan. The modernization of this highway enhances the country's strategic importance as a key hub at the intersection of the east-west and north-south transport corridors. Chairman of the State Water Resources Agency, Zaur Mikhailov, briefed President Ilham on the reconstruction project for Yevlax's water supply and sewage systems aimed at serving 70,000 residents through 2035. The project includes the construction of a drinking water treatment plant with a capacity of 20,000 cubic meters per day, 139 kilometers of drinking water network, nearly 13,000 household connections, 115 kilometers of sewage lines, 5 pumping stations, and a wastewater treatment facility with a daily capacity of 12,500 cubic meters. Rapid filtration plant with 16 filters and 2 reservoirs of 2,500 cubic meters total has already been built on the Görə River. It includes disinfection systems, backup power, and an 86 kilometers distribution network with 4,230 household connections. Yevlax's outdated water infrastructure dating back to the 1950s to 60s relied on sub-artesian wells and the Görə River, but could no longer meet demand due to aging pipelines and insufficient treatment. Babar Zayev, chairman of the board of Azer Energy Open Transit Company, briefed the head of state on the complete reconstruction of the outdated Yevlax Junction substation, originally built 60 years ago. facility now ensures reliable electricity supply for over 180,000 people in Yevlax, as well as parts of Berda and Ucar districts, and facilitates the transmission of green energy from the Varvara hydroelectric power station to the national grid. The new substation features a 110 kV outdoor switchgear, a digital control center, and real-time monitoring with advanced cybersecurity and digital switching technologies. These upgrades have increased efficiency by significantly reducing repair costs, spare parts demand, and downtime. A modern metering and accounting system has also been installed. Additionally, 3-story regional training and laboratory center has been established on site, offering training and 12 specializations. It is equipped with simulators, testing and diagnostic tools, and specialized labs for chemistry, ecology, and electrical equipment, supporting both workforce development and technical services for the energy sector. Furthermore, the center will support testing and diagnostic work for electrical power equipment used in distribution networks, railway infrastructure, and various business entities. Chairman of Azərbaycan Open Joint Stock Company, Rövşən Məmmədov, briefed the head of state on the new Central Aran Regional SCADA Control Center designed to ensure stable and efficient power supply management for agricultural areas, key state facilities, public services, and residents. The center is powered by two 6.3 MW ampere 35 and 10 kV transformers and equipped with modern indoor switchgear. A 14-kilometer power line connects it to the Yevlax substation. Several regional substations have been integrated into the system, allowing real-time monitoring and centralized control. This innovative facility enables digital control, protection, and management of power networks using advanced equipment and optical measurement technologies. It improves operational reliability, reduces energy losses and costs, and allows for the integration of green energy sources. Consumers can now receive advanced online notifications about planned outages. The enclosed substation allows for remote operation without the need for on-site staff. Additional electric vehicle fast charging stations have been installed for public use. Minister of Economy Mikhail Jabbarov briefed the head of state on the agricultural park, which spans 2,807 hectares and is part of the integration of medium-sized farms into agri-industrial clusters project. The park produces over 20,000 tons of mixed fruits, 20 million breeding eggs and 1 million seedlings annually, involving small and medium-sized farmers nationwide. Residents benefit from state-funded infrastructure and concessional loans from the Azərbaycan Business Development Fund. A smart management system with climate stations, cameras and soil sensors enhances efficiency. Currently, 36 businesses operate in the park, with 21 actively producing for domestic and export markets. Around 57 million minutes has been invested so far, creating 200 permanent and 500 seasonal jobs. Future development plans aim to attract up to 100 million minutes in private investment, expanding into intensive orchards, livestock, poultry, crop farms, and processing and logistics facilities, expected to create 500 permanent and over 1,000 seasonal jobs. The land is allocated as follows: 1,185 hectares for perennial crops, 1,298 hectares for annual crops, 141 hectares for the industrial zone, and 183 hectares for infrastructure. Nationally, Azerbaijan operates 9 industrial parks and 4 districts, hosting 170 companies with over 8 billion minutes in total investment and more than 10,600 jobs. From 2015 to the first quarter 2025, these zones generated 16 million minutes in product sales, including 5 billion minutes in exports. A new plant in Kazanbulaq village, Goranboy, will produce gypsum plasterboards and gypsum-based dry mixes with an annual capacity of 10 million square meters of plasterboards and 150,000 tons of dry mixes. Equipped with modern technologies, the facility will supply both domestic and export markets and create 200 permanent jobs. The plant will use locally sourced gypsum stone from various regions of Azerbaijan. Future plans include installing calcite and perlite production lines to reduce costs, as well as expanding into metal profile manufacturing. The project covers 5 hectares and involves a total investment of 33 million minats. It received a concessional loan of 3.9 million minats from the Azerbaijan Business Development Fund and customs concessions worth 900,000 minats under the investment promotion certificate from the Ministry of Economy.
On June 24th, the inauguration ceremony of the 8th November power plant was held in Mingəçevir. President İlham attended the event.
President İlham visited the monument to national leader Heydər Əliyev located on the premises of the Azərbaycan thermal power plant in Mingəçevir. The head of state then met with guests participating in the inauguration ceremony of the 8th November power plant and engaged in a conversation with them. During the meeting, the significance of the power plant project was emphasized with particular recognition of the involvement of Italian and Chinese companies in its successful implementation. The timely completion of the project was also acknowledged with satisfaction. This was followed by the inauguration ceremony of the 8th November power plant.
Əziz dostlar, hörmətli qonaqlar,
The inauguration of the 8th November power plant marks a momentous occasion that will substantially bolster the energy capacity of our nation, President İlham stated during the opening ceremony held in Mingəçevir. The head of state emphasized that the establishment of the country's largest power station, 8th November, and the swift completion of all associated works exemplify not only the strength and potential of our nation, but also the expertise and professionalism of Azerbaijan's energy sector specialists. The 8th November power plant will undoubtedly enhance our energy capacity, improve the efficiency of the power system, and thereby further consolidate Mingəçevir's standing as an energy hub, not only for Azerbaijan, but for the entire South Caucasus, emphasized President İlham. Highlighting Mingəçevir's rich history as an energy center and the strong pool of skilled professionals cultivated there, the head of our state underscored that over the past 20 years, we have, in effect, built Azerbaijan's energy system from the ground up, with new power plants constructed across various regions of the country. Welcoming guests from Italy and China, President İlham emphasized the significant role played by Italian and Chinese companies in the rapid construction of the 8th November power plant. Italy and China are strategic partners of Azerbaijan. Italy stands as Azerbaijan's #1 trade partner, while China also holds a leading position among our country's trading partners, stated President İlham. Today, Azerbaijan ranks among the countries ensuring Europe's energy security, and it's no coincidence that the European Union designates Azerbaijan as a reliable partner and a pan-European gas supplier, stated the head of state, noting that Azerbaijani gas is currently exported via pipelines to 12 countries worldwide. It is precisely by this measure, the geographical reach of our gas supplies, that Azerbaijan holds a leading position on the global stage today. Many countries, by utilizing Azerbaijani gas, secure their energy independence, emphasized the president. The head of state also addressed the ongoing global hotspots of conflict and war, which result in significant human casualties and devastation, reminding that Azerbaijan itself has endured war. For 5 years now, peace has been fully maintained in Azerbaijan, and naturally, the sooner peace is established beyond our borders, the better it will be for those countries and, of course, for us. Yet the reality is that today our country is recognized worldwide as a bastion of stability, development and progress, a reputation we have earned through our own labor, perseverance and well-considered policies, declared the head of state.
Düşünülmüş siyasetle kazanmışıq.
Söz verilir İtalya Respublikasının sahipkarlık ve Made in Italy naziri Canap Adolfo Urso.
Then speeches were delivered by Adolfo Urso, Minister of Enterprises and Made in Italy Products, Fabrizio Fabbri, Chief Executive Officer of the Italian company Ansaldo Energia, Chairman of the Board of the Chinese company, and Uzair Yusufov, Director of the Electricity Generation Operator Azenerji OJSC. President İlham and Minister for Enterprises and Made in Italy Products Adolfo Urso then officially inaugurated the power plant. President İlham and the guests then visited the area of the plant that had been targeted by a missile attack during the Patriotic War. It should be noted that on October 4, 2020, a Smerch multiple launch rocket system missile with high destructive power was fired at the station. The missile struck the area between the 6 and the 7 energy blocks. On October 11, 2020, another missile was launched, landing near the control center. Thanks to preemptive defense measures, the missiles were neutralized without causing damage. Later, the head of state and a guest toured the grounds of the newly inaugurated power plant.
President İlham received a delegation led by Adolfo Urso, Minister for Enterprises and Made in Italy of the Italian Republic, in Mingechevir.
During the conversation, President Ilham Aliyev and Adolfo Urso fondly recalled their previous meetings. The head of our state expresses gratitude to Minister Urso for attending the inauguration of the 8 November power plant and voiced hope for the successful implementation of future joint projects. Adolfo Urso described Italy's involvement in the construction of the 8 November power plant as a testament of the strong friendship and successful cooperation between the two countries. Reflecting on his multiple visits to Azerbaijan, he expressed satisfaction with the participation in the event and recalled his earlier visits to the cities of Ganja and Agdam in 2020. President Ilham Aliyev highlighted that Minister Urso was among the first high-ranking European officials to visit Azerbaijan's liberated territories, expressing appreciation for this gesture. The head of our state emphasized the scale of the ongoing reconstruction efforts in these areas, noting that 3 international airports have already been inaugurated. Both sides underlined the strategic nature of Azerbaijan-Italy relations and praised the high level of political engagement between the two countries. The importance of high-level reciprocal visits in further deepening bilateral cooperation was emphasized. The significance of the activities of the Intergovernmental Commission was noted, and views were exchanged on enhancing cooperation in areas such as energy, including renewable energy, metallurgy, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, science, education, culture, and other fields. The parties also highlighted the active participation of Italian companies in the reconstruction and restoration works in Azerbaijan's liberated territories. In addition, the prospects for cooperation between Azerenergy and Ansaldo Energia were discussed. The meeting concluded with a commemorative photo.
The head of our state received Deng Qiangyang, chairman of the board of China's Dongfang Electric International Corporation.
The meeting discussed the role of Dongfang Electric International Corporation in the construction of the 8 November power plant and the prospects for cooperation between Azerbaijan and the company. The meeting concluded with a commemorative photo.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received the credentials of Pavel Radomski, the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Poland, on June 27th.
The ambassador presented his credentials to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev then held a conversation with the ambassador. The head of state emphasized the significant potential for expanding cooperation between Azerbaijan and Poland in many areas, and hailed the development of bilateral relations in the political and economic spheres. Noting that Poland is a member of the European Union, President Ilham Aliyev highlighted the importance of mutual engagement between the two countries within the framework of Azerbaijan-European Union cooperation. The head of state underlined that recent high-level contacts between Azerbaijan and the European Union have created favorable conditions for opening a new chapter in bilateral relations. The ambassador conveyed the greetings of the President of the Republic of Poland, Andrzej Duda, to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev expresses gratitude for the greetings and asked the ambassador to extend his regards to President Andrzej Duda. Pavel Radomski shared his impressions of the development of Baku, noting that he had visited Azerbaijan's liberated territories and was deeply impressed by the large-scale construction efforts underway, as well as the natural beauty of those regions. The sides also noted the significance of the Intergovernmental Commission on Economic Cooperation and the working groups for interparliamentary relations in further expanding bilateral ties. The meeting included an exchange of views on the prospects for cooperation in the fields of economy, trade, energy, transport, and other areas.
President Ilham Aliyev received the credential of Anas El Tayyeb El Gailani Mustafa, the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Sudan.
The ambassador presented his credentials to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev then held a conversation with the ambassador. The head of state emphasized that Azerbaijan and Sudan have consistently supported each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, and highlighted the successful cooperation between the two countries within the United Nations, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the Non-Aligned Movement, and other international organizations. President Ilham Aliyev fondly recalled his meetings with the President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council of Sudan during the Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Baku and the Entire Diplomacy Forum, where the development of bilateral relations was discussed. The ambassador conveyed the greetings of Abdel Fattah al-Burhan Abdul Rahman al-Burhan, President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council of the Republic of the Sudan, to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev expresses gratitude for the greetings and asked the ambassador to extend his regards to Abdel Fattah al-Burhan Abdul Rahman al-Burhan. The ambassador expressed his appreciation for Azerbaijan's support for Sudan's territorial integrity, sovereignty, and political unity. He noted that Sudan has established a working group to further develop bilateral relations in line with the directives of the heads of state of both countries. Anas Al-Tayyib El-Gailani Mustafa also thanked Azerbaijan for providing educational scholarships to Sudanese students and requested an increase in the number of these scholarships.
The head of state received the credentials of Moshtaba Demircilu, the newly appointed ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran, on June 27th.
The ambassador presented his credentials to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev then held a conversation with the ambassador. The head of state formally recalled yesterday's phone conversation with the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, as well as the discussions held during Masoud Pezeshkian's visit to Azerbaijan. The President noted that the visit marked a new chapter in the overall development of relations between the two countries. President Ilham Aliyev emphasized that the statements and ideas expressed by Masoud Pezeshkian during his visit to Azerbaijan were very positively received by the Azerbaijani public. The head of state also underlined that Azerbaijan was among the first countries to express its position regarding the recent tensions between Iran and Israel, condemning the escalation and once again offering condolences over the loss of Iranian citizens during the conflict. President Ilham Aliyev pointed out that certain circles and media representatives were spreading rumors and false information aimed at damaging Azerbaijan-Iran relations in the context of these tensions. The Azerbaijani leader described all such claims as complete nonsense. Moshtaba Demircilu stressed that the supreme leadership of the Islamic Republic of Iran also attaches great importance to the development of relations with Azerbaijan. The ambassador noted that relations between Azerbaijan and Iran are based on friendship, neighborliness, and brotherhood. He emphasized that Iran highly values Azerbaijan's principled and firm position regarding the recent tensions between Iran and Israel and expressed gratitude for this stance. The ambassador also stated that the Iranian side is fully confident that Azerbaijani territory will never be used against Iran and that the Azerbaijani state will never allow such a scenario. The diplomat further expressed appreciation for the favorable conditions created for the transit of foreign and Iranian citizens through Azerbaijan. During the meeting, the sides held extensive discussions on the prospects for bilateral cooperation between Azerbaijan and Iran across political, economic, trade, cultural, humanitarian, and other areas. The discussions also covered the development of the North-South Transport Corridor, the construction of the automobile bridge over the Araz River connecting the Erbent and the Kelale checkpoints, and the overall development of the Araz Transport Corridor.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.